Hello, today is 8th April. So we are having a MicroProfile technical call. So please help out with the minutes. So I saw Taran, so you joined. So do you want I appreciate it's quite late for you. Do you have anything you want to bring up?
Yes, I want to show I have modified my this tutorial work with the guidelines as per microprofile branding. So would like to just get it reviewed, and I have created a UI bundle for it also. So want to request for a new repo also. So that's what I want to just show it so that it could get reviewed, and yes, next steps we can take up to get the repo, and I can merge it with the main branch.
I'm not sure what you mean, another report. Do you want to share your screen to demonstrate what you are trying
Yes,
to say?
absolutely.
Okay,
Yes,
go ahead.
sure. Just give me a minute. I'm just presenting my screen.
Okay. By the way, John, I made you co-host. Please I don't think I will
Yes,
turn on the look. Okay,
sure.
go ahead to share your screen. Yeah.
I can share here. Okay, so I think now my screen should be visible to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, here is the new tutorial as per the branding. So here last time, I had Jakarta EE logo here. So this is changed to MicroProfile, and uh, font is also changed, the heading font as well as this text as per the recommended font in Jakarta in MicroProfile guideline marketing branding document. And here, if I go to the light mode, so we have the coloring also changed as per MicroProfile. So was able to do it by myself. So this is all done. So what I did is I took the Antora documentation bundle. So there was this documentation UI code, which I forked it and then changed the font and the logo. So this particular repo is the new repo where I have this new package, which is rendering the UI for in Antora as per the microprofile branding. So this is what I want a new repo for, so that I can commit this code in that new repo, which will be something called Eclipse hyphen microprofile documentation UI.
That will be a slash macro profile slash profile dash documentation dash UI. So John, for now
Yes.
is the kind of macro profile basically that org is under basically is maintained by the Eclipse Foundation, right? For the new repo creation, I suppose this is not a spec. I suppose we can just raise GitLab issue and then to get it created.
Um, so sorry, I'm still trying to kind of follow along. Wouldn't this be under the MicroProfile organization?
Because the thing is, in the past, we are the owner of MicroProfile org. It's after the repo change, Eclipse,
Oh,
and then move to MicroProfile. And my question is, for the creating new repo, do we need to get a Eclipse Foundation to do it, or we can do it?
I thought we could do it.
Let me, and if we have the we have the owner responsibility.
And so where's I thought we also had the book in the MicroProfile org already.
The book. What do you mean?
Sorry, all the chapters. I thought we had those already in a MicroProfile repo.
Yeah.
That's the different repo. That's MicroProfile dash tutorials. It
Right.
turned out I can create a new repo. Yeah, so you're right, John. We can create a new repo. So basically, what Turan brought up is he need another repo.
Yeah.
In addition to the
Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah, go for it, Turan.
absolutely. Yes. So the repo which we already have is for the chapter content. But what I'm requesting is a new repo where we have this Antora related code for generating this UI as per the branding.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, I can create a repo for you.
So
Yeah.
this one, yeah.
Mm.
So we can call this like, oops, yeah, here this is within my name. So here this could be Eclipse and then MicroProfile documentation UI. And I'll get this merged, this branch
So
to
I wouldn't call it documentation though. Wouldn't it be MicroProfile tutorial UI?
Yeah, that sounds better.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also be good.
Yeah,
No worry.
documentation is very generic. It's just probably
Yeah.
too generic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will have the GitHub .com
Yes.
/microprofile dash tutorial dash UI. Okay.
Yes. And then, yeah, this one is the link which goes to the
Okay.
microprofile.io and set this to microprofile.io link. And yeah, so this is as per the branding. So I think now the only thing which is remaining is merging the last two chapters for the pull request. And then I will also update the README files in the source code and then also merge that. So that is the only two part which is left to complete this work.
Yeah. So you put in the, if I remember correctly, you put in the sample code in the MicroProfile dash tutorial, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. And I think we need. So John, can you speak to Sergey to ask him to review the MicroProfile JWT?
Yeah.
And then yeah, and also I will probably review the REST client and then also ask the IBM folks. And then again, I think it's who from it's James from Red Hat also involved REST client, right? So
Correct.
yeah, ask them to do these two open PRs. I will try to review as well. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, are there anything else to run?
No, that's all.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
And also, probably, Emily, we can take it between ourselves. Slight changes in the folder structure I might need in the microprofile tutorial content so that this site could be generated. So yeah, that's just no changes in the content, but
Yeah.
just creating some folders, etc., and reorganizing the content into different folders so that probably, yeah, I'll share a PR and that also can be taken up.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Looks like we are getting there. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you. So let
Thank you.
me, do you mind if I share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have I it?
Okay. So basically I will create create a new repo for you. So this is basically the repo slash microprofile dash tutorial dash UI. I will try to do after the call. Is that all for these tutorials, Turan? You are on mute, Turan. So if you are talking.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, feel free to drop. But anyway, thanks for
Sure.
yeah joining the call. Okay, so the next the next line of business basically the 7.1 release. We have all the basically RCs for the OpenAPI. OpenAPI also staged the funnel, and then I create another RC for the telemetry today. Then once we pass, basically getting the test or passing, and we will stage out the funnel. So John, we need to update the umbrella, POM, and spec this week. It's due today.
Uh-oh. I don't know if I can get it done today, but I'll see what I can do.
Okay, so are you going to work on this?
Yeah, I could work on that.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah. If you work on it, feel free to Slack me for the reviews and etc. So
Gotcha.
that's good. Okay. Okay, so that's brilliant. By the way, I will be off next week, so it's kind of hopefully we can get these things done. Uh, da, da, da. So next thing is for these CCRs for the MicroProfile 7.1 release. Do you know how close the Quarkus can pass all the TTKs?
I'll verify with Roberto. I thought we were in really good shape there. But yeah, Roberto's not on the call, but I'll chat with Roberto.
Okay. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you, John. Um, review the action. Okay, so it's for last week, last live hangout. Oh no, last live hangout or last, I think last technical call. So basically, we would like to see what kind of repo move is like. So I spent some time to work out all the like micro profile repos. So this is a proposal. So basically, overall, there's 38 micro profile repos. There's 18 spec projects, and then there's some other projects for the build and starter and etc. So interesting, MicroProfile dash tutorial was not listed. So MicroProfile IO, also MicroProfile dash because so we can basically go through this to discuss further. So it's for the basically the proposal for the a proposed MicroProfile dash config we move to Jakarta E core profile. So the name would be either Jakarta E slash MicroProfile dash config or directly to be the Jakarta slash config. Because there's already Jakarta slash config, maybe it's kind of directly move, I mean, delete the current Jakarta config content and replace with the MicroProfile dash config kernel content. So this is kind of the because the reason for this is because it's going to be a Jakarta E core profile will be in the Jakarta E core profile. This one is unique. And then for others, like for the umbrella release, basically the currently we have a MicroProfile. So this number is kind of stars. So it's interesting. I maintained this stars. So there's 484 stars for the basically the whole MicroProfile GitHub repo. So this will become the root of all of the MicroProfile, basically, especially the specifications. Looks like basically CDI spec, and then will be a CDI kind of dash TCK in the same pattern. The other thing is kind of the MicroProfile dash bomb. So, so this is the kind of the, I don't know, probably this one we don't need it anymore. I think this is pretty much old. Agree? I think it's that's maybe we don't need this.
Well, nothing's been updated in 8 years.
Yeah. So no longer need it. For the no longer needed, so the other thing is after the move, do we still keep the GitHub org MicroProfile?
That's a good question. I think what we should do is maybe refer people over to the new location, right? People may
Yeah.
have the old one bookmarked. So update the README, right?
Yeah. So, oh, I see. In the other like previously, we were under github.com slash eclipse slash microprod dash config. If you go there, is do a auto direct. If we do auto direct, we won't be able to see the existing the old content anymore.
That's a
And then,
good point.
yeah. Or maybe that's a kind of GitHub repo if like moved over, maybe we basically we do an auto direct. But anyway, let's kind of continue. And then this is kind of the after the config move to a core profile. So in this umbrella release will be become 6. So this is 6 will be basically released under MicroProfile. So basically it's under Jakarta EE. So this is basically move to Jakarta EE slash MicroProfile dash telemetry and etc. And then this is standalone specs. Standalone specs like GraphQL, LRA, open tracing, and metrics. This is and then reactive streams operator and then reactive messaging. So this will be remains standalone, but this will move, and then it's kind of anyway. This is deprecated. anyway, is still basically is valid. And then I propose we basically don't need this anymore. I don't know. Nathan, what's your point? What's your view on this? Do we need to probably we still need to move this microprofile dash context dot dash propagation. We still use it, right? Nathan, are you on mute?
Oh, sorry about that. Yes, I was on mute. Yeah, so we're looking at context propagation there. That one, yeah, we do still have use of it, although it's preferred to use Jakarta concurrency. And we've deprecated or put the language. I don't think it was actually deprecation, but it was some type of stabilizing language that we put in there.
Maybe we still move it and still make it stabilized, because the other thing is kind of not everything was moved over, right? There's
Not everything.
yeah.
I mean, okay, I would say don't move it, and we could always move it at a
Move
later
it.
time if for some reason somebody is requiring the stuff that wasn't there. Or that would be a good time to have a discussion in Jakarta about should we bring the stuff into Jakarta, into concurrency.
Okay, so that means in MicroProfile, okay, this will remain in MicroProfile org. So that's pretty much if it's not move, so the MicroProfile org will still exist. The GitHub repo, the GitHub.
Doesn't it have to exist anyway for the old versions of all the other specs?
No, will be send redirect. That's true. So this one will not be
Oh,
redirected.
well, then that would be nice to get rid of it, wouldn't it? Because then you wouldn't, you'd probably, then you'd have everything redirect.
Yeah.
Is that true? I mean, there's other repos in MicroProfile that aren't spec API. Are those going to redirect, or what would they redirect to?
They will all if we either maybe delete it or redirect.
Okay, so the others would be deleted if they don't have a,
Mm.
yeah.
So anyway, we
It
mark
doesn't
it.
make sense to have one just sitting around, and that's all that's left.
Yeah. So probably it's better to move. If you move, I mean, move over and just saying, at least it's all under. Oh, anyway,
I suppose it's harmless to move it, but then it doesn't actually go into any profile of Jakarta EE.
Yeah, true.
So that's fine.
Well, whether or not we redirect is still kind of an open question, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we do have to look at the pros and the cons, which I, don't know if we're gonna have the time to do here, but there definitely are pros and cons, I think.
Yeah. GitHub.ibm/. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. And then the unreleased spec. So this is pretty much hasn't released. I will say maybe it's better to add it to the Jakarta security. This is unreleased, or do we really want to? I mean, release it? Or the other thing is maybe is the kind of we can still move, and then later on this maybe keep I will say will not move, and then put the functionality either in Jakarta putting in the Jakarta security maybe.
Yeah, I'll ask Sergey about that as well, what his thoughts are about that.
Okay, good idea. Ask Sergey to see. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much for this kind of the spec projects. And for the other projects, like a Jenkins build and other tools, So this is build info and then build tools. This is all the build. So maybe the I think for the non spec related, they all come under E4J. Is that right, Nathan?
That's correct, Emily.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Reza. So in this case, probably this is all kind of will be under the creator under E4J. So it's also this another thing is Reza in the Jakarta starter, is that under E4J?
Correct. Yeah. So the way this works, yeah, as it is as you described. So basically, anything under the E4J umbrella that's a non-spec, anything Jakarta related that's non-spec is just under E4J, whereas things that are actually spec related are under the other one that you have before.
Okay, thanks. What about the Jakarta tutorial? I feel like the Jakarta
The
tutorial.
tutorial is actually, oddly enough, it is part of this. I
Jakarta.
do not believe there's actually ever a separate repo for it. I believe it still resides under Jakarta eSpec, but yeah, you could check. Okay, yeah, there is a separate one now. Cool.
Oh, this is separate. Oh, is under the Eclipse -E4J. Okay. Oh, public archive.
This is not the right one. This is the old Java.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this one is under Jakarta EE.
Cool. Yeah. I guess I split it out of the spec, the Jakarta eSpec. Cool.
Okay, so and then so for MicroProfile tutorial, so that this will be in the GitHub /Jakarta EE /profile tutorial. This is ask your opinion rather for the starter, MicroProfile starter. I'm wondering whether this can be basically added to Jakarta starter or keep it
Right.
separate.
Yeah, in my opinion, you don't need to move this at all. I think just functionally, you just create some code donation or a PR inside of Jakarta eStarter to add the equivalent functionality. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit tricky. It's going to take a little bit of work, but that's what I would do. I wouldn't actually I have the same sort of questions on a number of these things, but certainly I can speak to Jakarta starter very directly. I think, yeah, there's no need to create another repo. There's not really much point long term, I don't think. This becomes a PR into Jakarta eStarter, or rather Jakarta starter is, I think, the precise name of the project.
Yeah, Jakarta starter. I think it's the thing is kind of the demonstrate the ecosystem. So basically, in the Jakarta starter, it will Jakarta starter is in the E4J Jakarta starter. And add basically have a tick point whether you want to add MicroProfile or not.
Right. And we've always had plans to do a breakdown by spec, so maybe we could accelerate that work. But certainly, obvious thing would be just core profile, platform, web profile, or micro profile, whatever you want to. That's a fourth option in terms of profile.
Oh yeah, that's true. So there are different profiles. Okay. Okay, sounds good. That's this. Also, we need to have a further discussion. So hopefully the Jenkins job will continue to work because we have done the the redirect the change before. Maybe this should still work. So that's for the build. And then for the website. So this is kind of the MicroProfile website. So let me see whether who is on the call. Oh, Cesar is here. So Cesar, for this one, how usable is this? So we pretty much use WordPress, right? Is this still needed? Rather, you are on mute if I are talking.
No, I don't, I have an opinion on this, but yeah, I don't know what the answer here is.
Okay, I think it's my mistake. Cesar, what's your kind of
Yeah, I recall that this part yeah, I don't know if this is being used at this point. Select to redirect. No. This one is, I think this particular is not related with the website automation we have in place.
so that means this is no longer needed.
That's correct. That's correct.
So that's good. We just use this for the house cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What about this one?
Site config. Yeah, this one has this one do has some stuff, logos. This is on the MicroProfile. No presentations. Can you click on site YAML? I don't recall if that the one at the bottom.
Yeah.
YAML. Yeah, that one.
Oh.
Yeah, that one I recall it's the one that used the list. It used to be used for the listing of all the specs on the website.
You were right. However, today I
WordPress,
tried
right?
to look at this. The projects. When I look at all the project. And in the past, do you remember it's kind of all the project listed?
Yeah, we're
Now
listed
it's
there.
no
Yeah,
longer listed.
that is not
So
longer working.
going
Okay.
here instead.
Okay.
This is strange here. When you search MicroProfile, nothing. Oh, it's no longer.
I recall that the list appears as squares. I'm trying to go exactly the same place you're clicking there.
Oh, I understand now. Because previously MicroProfile is under github.com/eclipse/MicroProfile. Now it's kind of after the after the move, it's no longer here. So that's why it's 0.
Doesn't appear. Yeah, I think that the project's page from the microprofile.io that is broken at this point and is still pointing to this Eclipse GitHub. Yeah.
I think we need to update this.
The link. Yeah, but also if you notice the page is blank. And I recall that this should display these projects in squares, but that's a second issue.
Yeah, so here git repo. Yeah, no. So that's looks like this is not used.
It was used before, yeah. Right now it's not needed anymore after the update to the specification pages.
Yeah, so that's not used anymore. So maybe this is no longer needed. So with this, pretty much like this is controlled by WordPress.
At this point, yes. That project page, I think, still needs to be pruned or updated to be landing on a WordPress page.
Which one? This one?
The one that is empty. Let me see. Let me go back to your screen. When you went into the website, if you go microprofile.io/projects, yeah, that one, this page, I think is still trying to grab something from the GitHub pages hybrid we used to have, because it's empty. The white part, the body of the page is empty. I recall this page used to provide all the projects in just squares. So I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
URL needs to be updated to be WordPress only.
Where need to be updated?
At WordPress. In the
Oh,
same,
you know, WordPress. Okay, okay.
yeah,
I
yeah,
see. I see. Okay.
sure, sure.
So is basically let me document that. In the
I think
mid.
that's a leftover from the work that has been going on lately on the website in the past months. But apart from that, I'm clicking throughout the website to see if I can find more, but so far that's the only one.
Let me quickly. Let me quickly note down that. MicroProfile.io/projects. The WordPress is updated. Is okay. We raise a marketing issue. Get that fixed. Is this what you mean? Rather, are there no rather Cesar? Are there any other things?
Apart from that, I'm gonna share here on the chat. Let me share this with you. For example, when we go to the specifications and then the telemetry and then the version, I am trying to see if we are still getting data from
The site? No.
I'm trying to see if this is 100% WordPress or are we still depending on something else. That's what I'm trying to look at it, but it seems it's coming straight from WordPress.
Yeah, this is a new page.
This is the new page, right? Okay.
I know
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
This
Cool.
is purely from WordPress.
Okay. Perfect.
Worked with Ryan on this.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. That's it. We only found one page that was still hanging from the previous architecture, but yeah.
Okay.
Good.
That's good. And then the micro-profile marketing. So this is for the website. Now it's fully managed by WordPress. So that's for this. And then the marketing kind of the thing is so this is mainly we use this GitHub repo for the marketing activities. So once we move over to Jakarta, so there's a Jakarta marketing group. Is also the Jakarta meetings and etc. Do we still need need this repo for any issues? I think probably not. So John, what do you think, John?
I don't think we'll need it. I think once both working groups vote, and if the result is to move over, then we're going to have a whole long list of Git issues on the details, right? And I suspect that this is going to be one of the details that we should create an issue for.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it just, I'm glad it's documented here, because we can come back and kind of create Git issues off of these and track the move.
Mark the move progress. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. That's good suggestion, Joe. Okay. Here, and I'm glad, I mean, this exercise I have done. So it's almost like a spring cleaning exercise. So the contributor list. So good Cesar is here. So Cesar, this is not in the, it's not used anymore, right, Cesar?
That was great. I recall this one was for getting data for the stats. Yeah, that one. I think it's still in use based on,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
This
based
is
on the rendering speed I saw. I think it's still in use. Yeah.
also, so John, this is another thing we need to discuss. After we move on the MicroProfile.io website, will still exist, will be kept, correct?
First of all, it's if we move because the votes haven't
Yeah,
happened yet.
if
Um,
yeah,
right.
if
yeah.
we move,
The second is that kind of remains TBD, right? Because again, it gets back to having bookmarks, and there won't be an auto redirect. So this is going to have to be a discussion within the marketing team, right? Do we have, obviously we'll have a top level message. Does each individual spec page that we currently have then link to a Jakarta equivalent, et cetera, right? I suspect there'll be an interim step where both exist, and maybe a couple of years after that, the entire website is deprecated.
yeah,
Just
okay,
just thinking out loud.
yeah. Okay, so I think it is still, I will say, need to see this here. No need to move, but it's still in use. I think I will think MicroProfile should still exist. Maybe basically the charters and etc. So that bit can be removed, some pages. So the working group basically, yeah, this is no longer needed. And here MicroProfile site. Oh, this one is still, oh yeah, this one is still in use. Anyway, that's for MicroProfile site. So move this one down. The sample, I think we need to delete it, and then pretty auto date, and then blog so this one blog is basically very old. I think we should get rid of them. Presentations, yeah, get rid of them. Evolution process also is kind of that at that time when we set up a working group, that's kind of the work in progress. We should delete. Evolution service mesh. This is pretty much like a demonstrate a service mesh, but not quite auto date. I think we can get rid of them. Again, demo code, auto date, various presentation, yeah, conference app, and all this. I think all of this I kind of propose to basically to sunset them. Again, kind of the anyway for this one we can basically mark for deprecation and mark for deprecation and then also after some period we can basically delete them. So this is pretty much the kind of the plan. I know I quickly went through this. And then I just added a link. This is in the Google group, in the Google Drive. So you can all basically review and add comments and to see whether you have any concerns. So and then when we execute, and then we can come back, revisit again, but at least now we have gone through and to see how much work involved, and then start the conversation. So this is kind of the repo move. So the other things kind of the about the next basically what will happen next for the proposal. Let me see. Proposal. So basically, it's John and I have started basically a conversation, and also we, I mean, I create a couple of sentences. I think it's kind of we have to work out basically is achieve some fundamental stuff on what's the baseline, what kind of the minimum kind of terms and conditions. We need to spell it out. So it's kind of the not it's a one sentence or two sentence and open ended. So I think it's kind of they will have a few sentences, but John, I think we need to get together again in the next like couple of days and to draft out the verbiage. And I know you might have some concerns with the draft I put forward, and then we can share with the group, and then hopefully you can discuss further in next week's call. I feel like this is the more you sit down to work into it, actually is not that straightforward. I think we shouldn't rush it, and I think it's better to kind of have some like a stable, at least it's not like everything is kind of not specified, at least specify something in the voting verbiage. I know rather you have hands up. Let me quickly turn over to John for John to have a quick basically disagree or agree with what I said, and then we can open up for a further conversation. John.
Yeah, I mean, we'll work on the actual doc. It won't be as detailed as like the Git repo move, right? It's going to be, I think some core principles, most of which were discussed, I think in the group thread. Cover that in the next in the live hangout, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, sounds good. Reza.
So Emily, I mean, I don't obviously. I'm glad you folks are working on it. For me, I'm happy to see you and Red Hat and IBM doing the basic legwork to do all of this done. We very much applaud it as usual. Just our 2 cents from a Microsoft perspective, and just foreseeing having seen the dynamics of some of these things for many years now. Here's my recommendation. You can take it or leave it. You can think about it. I think like if we try to have a vote in the working group that spells out all of the issues all at once, I don't know if it's going to pass. My suggestion would be to start with a very high level resolution that maybe to the effect of all it really says is, yes, we are interested in doing this, and come to a formal consensus on that. I think then we need to, in my opinion, probably have separate votes on, when we move over, what is going to be the naming of these. And believe it or not, people will get hung up on things like this, in my opinion. I think next vote is, having a vote on what is going to be, can we come up with a resolution on what the specs are going to be named after they move. And I think we need to have another separate, probably one or two more separate votes on, whether or not to retain the MicroProfile namespace and what to do with the namespace issue. And possibly another one is like, do we just wholesale create new specs in Jakarta, or do we go through some kind of rationalization process of, does something really just belong in something that exists in Jakarta already versus, creating something net new. So those are all of the things that we're thinking about from the Microsoft standpoint. And we just, I see this becoming a problem if we decide all of these things on a atomic fashion all at once. I would much rather prefer we just have a series of smaller resolutions in the working group, in the Microsoft working group, that hashes out each specific detail. I think that will overall, it may seem slower at first, but I think that's, probably it's going to be faster in the end, and possibly a smoother process overall. So yeah, again, take it or leave it. Feel free to please take it or leave it. We're happy to see Red Hat and IBM, taking the lead on this, but yeah, that's just our 2 cents.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Actually, we roughly align with what I think we are thinking. So basically, also there's a fine cut. How growth is like a high level, how high level it is, right? So basically, I want to spell out what's the fundamental stuff and mention in the high level. So the first vote is very fundamental. I think for example, you do, I mean, is that acceptable? You basically donate a MicroProfile and kill MicroProfile. Are we okay? Like, when they go to Jakarta a year and then there's no existing, MicroProfile, is that acceptable? So basically, we want to have that basically some stake on the ground. It's not everything hollow. So this is what I mean. Like, it's not like one sentence. Donate MicroProfile to Jakarta and then full stop. And then whatever happened to the future MicroProfile is the kind of would be kind of is unknown. And actually, I still want MicroProfile name to be retained. So with that, probably the voting verbiage, we need to be like a MicroProfile spec, we need to be released under the MicroProfile, basically, like the name, for example, is in parallel with web profile, that kind of fashion. So basically, now it's kind of Joan and I coming together and work out it's a kind of minimum high level stuff and then not list all the fine details. If I do agree with you, rather, if we list all the fine details, we will never reach agreement. So, yeah. Yeah, I think roughly we are, I think, thinking along the similar line. And then is John and I will work together to come up with the voting verbiage this week. And then next week, basically, in a live hangout, so can have a further discussion. And because this is a quite important vote, and I want to make sure like basically no rush into the vote, and when people vote they understand what they're voting for. So I think it's worthwhile to discuss and revisit the voting verbiage, and so with that people clear they either vote +1 or -1 or +0. So but there shouldn't be any uncertainty. Okay, so that's good. And anybody have any kind of comments or concerns?
I think you
Okay.
covered it pretty well. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you all. It's a great call. And yeah, and today I listed all of them and felt and MicroProfile has made us is so much kind of the progress has reduces so many amazing stuff. Okay, then, thank you all. And I won't be at next week's call because I'll be on holiday. And I will talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.
Have
All right,
fun.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.